What is going on, guys? Bionic Man here with a special GenoPets video. So today I wanted to kind of make my own guide. Essentially, GenoPets seems to have a lot of PDF files and you can look at pictures, but I want to kind of explain how the game works in depth so that everybody can understand perfectly, as well as my theories on great ways to utilize harvesting and working with the guild, as well as ways to maximize your potential earnings going forward in the future. So first thing I wanted to talk about is a habitat. You can go on to websites like Magic Eden and different types of soul-based websites for selling NFTs, and you can buy two different types of versions of a habitat. One is the Genesis habitat, which would be a little more expensive, or you could buy a terraformed habitat as well. Genesis habitats have the advantage when it comes to earning, which is going to bring me into my next part of this conversation, is the earnings with the habitat. So if you buy a Genesis habitat, you can harvest every single day, and you by staking or like taking a longer time in the harvesting, because there's three different ways you can harvest. You can harvest make the harvest take 7, 10, or 14 days. I think with a level 2 habitat, for example, a 7-day harvest would be about 5,263 energy. For a 14-day harvest, it would be 2,500 energy. With Genesis habitats, you can actually also, through the other part of using a habitat, is there's an alchemy feature. So with the Genesis habitat, you can actually create any type of crystal using the KI token that you had harvested to create crystals. You can create any type of crystal that you would like with the Genesis habitat. With a terraformed habitat or a habitat that is non-Genesis, essentially what you would need to do is create the habitat crystal type. So if you had a water habitat, the only type of crystals you could make would be water and metal, and habitat would be metal crystals, and so on and so forth. So a Genesis habitat also has the advantage of being able to make any type of crystals you want. With both features in particular, you can create terraformed crystal seeds, which are essential for terraforming a habitat in the future or creating a new habitat. And then also, like I said, you can create a new habitat using KI, gene, and the crystals that were refined, and all so forth. Also, those crystals can be used to upgrade your habitat as well. So if you are using a habitat or harvesting on a habitat through the guild or through any type of guild, with YGG being an example, you are creating 50% of the profits that are made by harvesting the crystals you are keeping, and the habitat owner, or in this example the guild, would be getting the other 50%. I highly recommend, if you are going to harvest for the guild, that you do the 14-day harvest. The reason being, it costs you less energy, 2,500 energy. And if you're splitting the harvest profits at 50% each, a harvest would give you the 50 KI, which would be split amongst you and the guild, 25 and 25. There is also a 26, roughly 26 and change KI bonus for taking the 14 days. And if we split that in half, I have not cashed out yet, so I have no idea specifically how this works or what will happen. But if we just split that in half, that is roughly another 13 KI for a grand total of 38 KI per harvest fee. I am going to be harvesting personally every 14 days and taking that time frame to make sure that I maximize my potential earnings that I get from harvesting. Now, there's another part that goes into harvesting or owning a habitat in general. With owning a habitat, this is going to be in future expansions. There's multiple different ways to play with your pet or keep your pet happy and entertained. Owning a habitat in the future is going to be crucial for this, as there's many things that you can do to keep your pet entertained, happy, therefore generating a higher energy conversion rate per step ratio with your pet, and all of that is essentially made or done through owning a habitat. So owning a habitat is crucial in that case as well. You can also have sub-habitats, and each habitat can house one GenoPet. So by having multiple habitats, you can also have multiple GenoPets. I believe that's from the description in the game guides, that would be the only logical explanation that I could take from that. Another part of habitats is that they diminish. You have to repair them. Like many other move to earn games, if you use Step In for an example, or Callow Run or Fitmint, when you use your NFT and generate profits or use it for its durability, you have to, at some point, repair your habitat. Your habitat has a repair ability of repairing it once per day. And for every once per day that you repair your habitat, it's only a certain level or amount that you can actually repair it. So with keeping that in mind, you at some point are probably going to need to start repairing your habitat every day to keep it from fully diminishing. Otherwise, if it does diminish, it has no gains potential and would therefore be useless until you have repaired it. So I would never even let it get close to being a diminishing, and I believe with a level 2 habitat, it has 120-day diminished capacity. So if I did own the habitat personally, I would never let it get close to diminishing, as that is the moneymaker. So one other thing that I obviously wanted to touch up on really quick before I go into my guide and my harvesting logic and theories is, if you guys are liking this content, please subscribe, send a like, hit the like button, and send a message and let me know if you're enjoying the content, if there's something you'd like me to make in particular for you. I am always here to answer questions and would love to help grow and create a stronger community in Move to Earns, GenoPets, and everything in between. So now I want to get into my method that I've been doing. It's proven to work, for me at least, in regards to working with a guild, example YGG, and how to maximize my experience with GenoPets as well as fulfill my job as a harvester. So essentially what I have been doing is I have been doing a 4-day cycle where on the first day I will harvest around 7,500 energy, roughly about 10,000 energy harvested, $2,500 energy to pay for my harvesting of that day, and then 7,500 energy, I keep saying dollars, for the rest of the 3-day cycle. Then on the next day, which would be day 2, I will spend 2,500 energy, leaving me at 5,000, and all of the potential energy that I get that day, I'm going to immediately spend leveling up my GenoPet. Using this method, rinsing and repeating, you are able to have 3 days where you know that you have all of your energy concerns in regards to harvesting are all set and taken care of. And then any of the extra energy that you receive through banking, you can use to level your GenoPet to maximize future earnings. Obviously, a level 1 GenoPet would not be worth as much as a level 20 or 30 or 40. One of the cool things about a Genesis GenoPet in particular is that a Genesis GenoPet actually starts automatically at phase 4 or evolution cycle 4, whereas our pets that we got from the guild, or if you got from a friend who giving you a code, those pets are going to start at level 1 evolution 1, and you're going to have to work your way up to get to the evolution 4, which is the same as the Genesis GenoPet. So that also incentivizes people to buy a Genesis GenoPet to have that almost pay to win going forward in the future, as the GenoPets and their level and rank and everything in between is going to play a part when they incorporate the competition-like features going forward. Obviously, a stronger pet, higher level pet would do more, I don't know, damage or have better abilities, quote unquote, and strengths than a lower level pet. So that's also going to incentivize people to level. So with my cycle, roughly every 2 to 3 days, I'm able to level my pet. As you can see here, I have 26,600 energy or XP, essentially, that needs to be applied to get to level 9. I believe I should be able to get this energy done today, hopefully through a series of walks. So I will make another video soon enough to show you how that works. Now, what I am doing in particular with this guild, I think is the smartest way to maximize my potential earnings, as well as get the most out of this game. So right now, with the 1 habitat and the current rate of the KI, which is roughly about 0.098 cents per KI crystal, if I am harvesting roughly 38 KI per day going forward from the 14-day cycle. So let's get in here. We'll do 38 times 0.098. So that's roughly $3.72 a day. 372 times 365 is roughly $1,357.80 a year. So what my method is I'm not going to take a single penny or profit from any of the KI. What I would like to do at the end of the year cycle is I would like to take this $1,357.80 and I would like to convert it into Gene. Now, as you can see here, the price of the KI token, the price of Gene is roughly $5.32 currently. And if I stake my $5.32 Gene for 24 months through their Gene staking program that they have in the app, it will generate 21.8 times returns. So if we go off that number, 1,357.8 times 21 point, let's just do 8 times, that would make the $1,357.80 if the Gene price holds at the same value, and obviously if 3 years from the staking price, because there is a year waiting from the end of the staking till you can claim, if everything holds its same value, that $1,357.80 would be worth roughly $29,600.04. Now, I am going with this method because if everything holds true, if I do this every single year, going forward from that third year time frame, I will be consistently making this amount of money every year going forward. So I think anyone can agree that if you did not have to pay for a GenoPet and you received one from the guild, and you were also harvesting and getting this free money from the guild, and every 3 years you could receive roughly 30,000 US dollars equivalency. And after that, going forward, every other significant year, you would receive another $30,000. That would mean in 4 years, you would have received roughly 120,000 US dollars equivalency from a free pet, from doing something harvesting for free because you staked and invested your money every single time you got it. Now, personally, I would much rather have 29,000 US dollars a year waiting 3 years than take $1,357 a year in profits, just because that's a no-brainer. I mean, who would not want to have almost 20, 30 times your money? You would be ridiculous if you didn't want to do that. So that is my current method. Obviously, if YGG accepted me to do alchemy, or if I had sub-habitats, then maybe I would either stake some more money, but probably I would take some profits at that point, because I would be in a boat where I know I can make a good amount of money every 3 years, or well, after the 3 years, and then every year going forward. So I wouldn't need to keep staking. Obviously, if you get greedy, you can take the you could say that, well, I put all of it into it and get nothing. I mean, the reason I'm doing it with the one habitat and putting it all in is because it costs me nothing, and if I could benefit $30,000, that'd be great. But if I had 2 habitats and I had alchemy on both, I would probably take, 30, 40% of the KI crystal profits and put that into my wallet to maintain. So even if at the end of the 3-year cycle and everything, the gene token plummets or doesn't have as much return going forward in the future, I know I have at least made something, locked up something, and am in a good boat. Now, with the habitats, one other and final thing I want to talk about is, obviously, if you own a habitat, you can do what the guild is doing. You can rent out your habitat. You can have a scholar of your own, or you have your friend harvest. You can set the rate. That is the beauty of it. And also, like I had touched up upon, is habitats in the future are going to have a very, very, very significant value with making your pet happy, creating new habitats, creating crystals, leveling up, adding more value to your habitat. Each habitat can have its own GenoPet. The list goes on and on, but I am most excited for leveling my GenoPet. It is a race right now in my mind to Evolution 3, which I believe would be at level 16. So I am working like a madman to get there, and that is what I'm going to be continuing to do. As you guys can see, while I'm making these videos, I always tend to walk. Guess I'm having some connection issues. That's why I'm getting the no response data. This step problem can be a big problem. I heard yesterday through the Twitter of GenoPets that they are just waiting for approval from Apple for their new update, and hopefully soon the Google update will be taking effect. With talking with them, they do not have a complete Google integration yet, and they are really working hard to get that. That is why most Android phones that use Google, which is basically all of them, have problems with the compatibility and the steps not being accurate. I do believe in the new iPhone update that all of these problems will be, or most of them will be addressed, and hopefully the steps will be fixed and will give us Android users hope going forward in the future for the steps issue being corrected. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like I had said earlier, if you enjoyed everything, like and subscribe. Send me a message. Let me know what you guys want to know about other types of videos. And if you have any questions in it all about any of the move turn games that I've been making videos about, feel free to send me a message or make a comment on this video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, guys, until next time, as always, Bionic Man out.